the response to the killing of the CEO last week is generating, as it says here, an obstacle of sympathy for the gunman. The manhunt for the UnitedHealthcare CEO killer meets unexpected obstacle, sympathy for the gunman. And what I thought was fascinating about this Wall Street Journal article, which is of course lamenting this reality, um, is that what it appears to be, and I didn't extensively research this point, but it seems to be that outlets like the Wall Street Journal and other commercial media are reflecting their class biases by, again, sort of lamenting in a way what the people's response is without really considering appropriately why people would be responding this way. The short of it with this story is that from people's posts online, in social media, to the world of the unofficial cyber sleuth community, people are saying, we're not looking for this guy and I hope he gets away. I don't encourage violence. I don't have to condone violence by any means, but I also don't have to help, wrote at that Danish guy. Is that what that's meant to say? Who has 2 million followers on TikTok, where he bills himself as capable of finding anybody. Former Boston Police Commissioner Ed Davis said, I've been watching and I've been shocked. It's troubling to see it. And I'm really surprised that people are reacting that way, considering the tragic loss here and the violence of what happened. The sympathy is being described here as a huge problem, and then they're connecting it to the case of Eric Rudolph, which this actually this I thought was a telling, and this to me, obvious this was the part that for me revealed more than anything that the article says the bias of the Wall Street Journal, which is here. And I don't know if folks remember this case of Eric Rudolph, the Atlanta Olympic bomber, who not only bombed the Atlanta Olympics, but then escaped under the protection of this underground white supremacist network in this country and was able to live uh, relatively free. I don't think he was living well. It was a lot of hiding and this, that, and the third. But for I forget how long, but for quite a while before they caught him. And here he's the one that this is the story that the assassin of the CEO was being connected to, as if to say anyone who does this should be considered akin to a white supremacist terrorist. And I don't equate a white supremacist bombing the Atlanta Olympics and why they were doing that, or the movement that protected him, with what seems to be the motive for the killing of the CEO, and whatever sentiment is being lamented here that wants to protect him. I don't think it's a fair equivalence that they would do that, but yet they do. But anyway, so the point is that I thought this part was, and I'm not really sure if this was the intent of the creator here, if this was an attempt to, I assume this was, uh, uh, what is it? An ironic reference to Atlas Shrugged and what's her name? I'm just escaped. The name just escaped me. The author who, but the point of Atlas Shrugged was let corporations take over. We don't need government. Ayn Rand, right? And so here's somebody saying everyone shrugged, like, and it's like, oh well, dude got killed. Oh well. Yeah, I feel someone out there has the story. Definitely has seen this story and definitely knows who it is. The world collectively shrugged. That seems to be the general response. Said of Michael McWhorter of 6.7 million followers on TikTok. I thought that was interesting that the Wall Street Journal is saying, "Hey, we," but again, the just to connect those two dots is that the mainstream narrative cannot include any serious consideration for why people would be that upset. And I think the Wall Street Journal approach is perfect. That we're going to acknowledge that some of you feel this way, but we're going to quickly associate this with terrorism to do the best that we can to stem the tide of this sentiment, which they're on the legal side of crime. And you can't once rich white men start becoming the target, it's going to be a whole different level of response.